You're listening to Cosmic Cousins' new and full moon podcast, Ritual. I am your host, Jeff Henshaw. Thanks for tuning into the show. Cosmic Cousins, we meet on every new and full moon, and it's all to honor the interconnectedness of our universal family through embodied health, self-discovery, and deeper learning. Hello, Cosmic Cousins. Welcome to another week of the show. Here we are at the Aquarius full moon here in Leo season. So I'm recording this on Sunday, August 2nd in the year 2020. And our Aquarius full moon is on August 3rd, 2020, Monday. And so we've got the sun is in Viola Davis, our Queen of Leo, Viola Davis.
In my mind, I see a line, and over that line I see green fields and lovely flowers and beautiful white women with their arms stretched out to me over that line, but I can't seem to get there no how. I can't seem to get over that line.
And the moon is in Oprah Winfrey. Queen of Aquarius, Oprah Winfrey.
In this world, there are a lot of things that are beyond our control. But what you do have control over is how you react to whatever happens in your life.
So in 2019, we worked on a project called Zodiac Queens, and we crowned a queen for each astrological sign. And these women are here to inspire us to connect with the manifestation of these astrological energies. So on this Aquarius full moon, we have the opportunity to connect to a more wide and contemplative, objective perspective. This is Aquarius. The phrases I have for us are: I hope, I evolve, I inspire. Maybe you write these down, maybe you just sit with them, maybe you elaborate on them. I hope, I evolve, I inspire. I'm an esoteric astrologer, so I also work with the tarot. Today we're going to keep it really simple. My altar for this Aquarius full moon is this big slab of amethyst. I connect amethyst to Aquarian energy because it activates the third eye and the crown chakra, and it feels quite celestial to me. So I got this big piece of amethyst here, and the star card is the card that I want to work with you all for this Aquarius full moon. The star is the soul growth for Aquarius. So if you work with the tarot, you could get this card out as well. So again, the Aquarius full moon, it's going to inspire this wide, contemplative, and objective perspective. And so it offers a balance to Leo. We're in Leo season, so we'll always have an Aquarius full moon during this season. And Leo is about the present moment. Leo, ruling planet, is the sun, is connecting us to our vitality and our life force. Aquarius, on the other side of the wheel, fixed air to Leo's fixed fire, is about the stars in the sky. It is connecting us to the galaxy, right? The stars in the sky are also their own sun. So we have this celestial cosmic dance between Leo and Aquarius. And if Leo is the present moment, if Leo is inspiring us to feel into our wild and primal emotion and desire, Aquarius is saying, let's connect to our cosmic self. It offers this big picture illumination into the evolution of not only who you are to become, but who we are to become as a collective. So Aquarius is this progression and expansion. So whatever progression and expansion that you sense on the horizon of your life, because you likely are feeling that here on this Aquarius full moon, you are sensing that something new is to come. Or maybe you're receiving glimpses into that. Remember, full moons are moments in time where the moon is reflecting the sun's light, okay? So it's a time of reflection. It's a time of existential understanding when we bring that together with Aquarius. Why did I incarnate here on this planet? And then Leo is also owning that right. So whatever progression and expansion you sense on the horizon of your own life, be open to receiving cosmic insight into that. Full moons can bring heightened emotion, so we could also be feeling deeply emotional right now with the collective or the humanity at large. But know that whatever expansion you sense for yourself is also mirroring that of the collective. Everyone is receiving these insights right now. And Aquarius reminds us that our soul growth is innately interwoven with all of humanity. And the thing is not everyone is necessarily going to accept this Aquarian truth, but we are all in this together. So sit with that phrase, we're all in this together, and notice what it brings up for you. For some, it might feel uncomfortable. For others, it might feel liberating. But by becoming conscious of this interconnectedness, we empower ourselves to create space for true healing and deeper healing to emerge. So we're stepping outside of our individual Leo self on this Aquarius full moon. And so if you are a Leo sun, moon, or rising, this kind of work of stepping outside of your individual self and reflecting on bigger cycles within your life and within the vastness of humanity is part of your soul growth work. And for all of us during Leo season. So Aquarius is reminding us that as the number of reported COVID-19 cases continue to increase in many parts of the world, which we saw in July, it was the most cases reported, that Aquarius is saying to us, Mother Earth is given this chance to heal and to breathe and to regenerate. Aquarius is giving us this big picture objective here. So we're reflecting on that. Aquarius is encouraging us to join together in harmonious union, still social distancing, to create this. I'm seeing the image of a grid. It's like a grid-like union. Each of us meditating in our home creates a grid around the earth to realign the vibration of this planet that we live on. We're talking very cosmic and Aquarian energy. So we can sense this in the medicine of the star card, to be sure. So when you gaze at it, often it shows a woman that is completely in the nude. And so already this is stripping us down to the truth of who we are, which can be quite vulnerable, right? And this woman is pouring water into a lake, which I often like to think of as a cosmic lake. I imagine that this lake or this pond is reflecting the stars in the sky. And so here in Aquarius, we peer into the cosmic soup, right? And that soup or that water, Aquarius is the water bearer, is then what we use to heal others. So we're healing others with cosmic insight with Aquarius. And the star card is humble. This figure on the star card is kneeling. It's a devotion, right? So when the star shows up in a reading, or when we use it on an altar in a meditation, it reminds us of our innate human response to heal. We have the power, the intuition, and the magical ability as earthlings here on this planet to use the resources from the universe to heal. And so the star card speaks to our ability to bring deep relaxation to the nervous system. Aquarius is connected to the nervous system and the ankles. So breathe into these parts of your body. Acknowledge these parts of your body. This will occur for ourselves, this deep relaxation to the nervous system, when we remove ourselves from society, when we bring healing to our individual selves. So once we calm down and relax, we can begin to create ripple effects of healing in the lives of those around us. This is part of Aquarius. And this is the invitation for us at this time. It's a deeply healing moon. I mean, that's the thing, is all moon energy is nurturing and healing. We can think of moon as grandmother. So this is a grandmother who is Aquarian. So an image that I call to mind for Aquarius moon, if we're moving through Aquarius moon, or if you are an Aquarius moon, is a grandmother that has a circle of people in a room, all laying down, and the grandmother goes by and gives each of them Reiki. Aquarius is connected to energy. So Aquarius is explaining to us at this moment in time that there is a greater order to the unfolding of the events in our daily lives, and it is in some way mirroring that of the cosmos. As above, so below. We can acknowledge this by honoring our astrology practice on this Aquarius full moon. Remember, Aquarius rules over astrology. So when we are engaging with astrology, which you are right now, we're also engaging with the archetype of Aquarius. Aquarius, astrology, they both offer us a vocabulary of archetypal understanding. So we're seeking reflection in cosmic knowings. Aquarius reminds us that all that we're experiencing right now is part of an evolutionary process. So this is a very detached viewpoint. It's very omnipresent. So whatever that brings up for you, for some that you might feel really resistant to this, it could bring up anger for some people to be this detached. For others, it might feel hopeful and expansive. But either way, just sit with whatever emotion, moon, this Aquarian energy brings up for you. It gives you an opportunity to sit with and to acknowledge these parts of yourself under this light of this full moon. And what you might find is that when you adopt this viewpoint, even just for a moment in time, we don't necessarily want to be in this viewpoint always. And particularly if you are an Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising, you learn how to evolve through Leo, so you learn how to come to the present moment. But this, what it will do is it will offer new insights, this vantage point, right? So what potential do you see for yourself and on the horizon for humanity when you expand out and observe these bigger evolutionary cycles? So we do this in our astrology practice. Everything that's happening right now with COVID-19, Black Lives Matter movement, we can see reflected in the stars. So connect to this big picture objective. You can start by even imagining yourself observing yourself from a bird's eye view, like observing your day-to-day life, but also the past year. Aquarius full moon gives us a time to reflect on 2020, the new vision 2020, or to reflect on the last 10 years of your life or the entirety of your life and beyond, to reflect on astrological cycles that have been taking place, like Eris, E-R-I-S, the warrior feminine, has been in Aries since the 1920s. How are we learning about Eris and Aries over this 120-year cycle? This is the kind of energy that Aquarius is going to expand us into. And what it can do is it can allow you to have a new vision for the future. So write out your hopes, write out your visions for the future. This Aquarius full moon is at the 11th degree and 26th minute. August 3rd, 2020 at 8:58 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Monday, August 3rd, Aquarius at the 11th degree. Check out your chart. What do you have around Aquarius at the 11th degree? In my own chart, this is hitting up my first house. I'm an Aquarius rising. So I'm connecting to how I, as an individual, am waking up to these themes, and also how I identify with them. First house. So check out, where is Aquarius in your chart? So when we're connecting to the moon, again, right, it is this deep self-care always. So what self-care does the Aquarius full moon inspire for us? So when the moon joins forces with this collective air sign, this expands our healing capacity. Aquarius moon, expansive cosmic healing capacity, and it is usually toward some sort of greater interconnectedness. So when we meditate on the glyph for Aquarius, the symbol for Aquarius, you'll notice there's two synchronized energetic waves. energy, baby. Pay attention to subtle reality. So one thing we can do for Aquarius moon, under the light of the Aquarius moon, or if you are an Aquarius moon, is turn off your Wi-Fi. Turn off your phone. Turn off your electricity. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be turning off everything just for the night. And it is a time to reset and reconnect your energy body. So healing practices for the Aquarius full moon are when working with Aquarian energy, anything that brings a reset to the nervous system and greater energetic alignment. We're talking Reiki, sound healing, acupuncture, astrology. This would be a great time to take a fast from the internet or technology. Crystal healing, chakra meditation, group meditation, breath work, right? The air element. But also, inspired by the star card too, anything that resets the nervous system can also be an Epsom salt bath, steams, hot springs, and also stargazing. Aquarius is connected to the stars. So when we engage in these practices, particularly during the Aquarius full moon, we realign ourselves with our own unique cosmic vibration. And this opens us up to receiving expansive new insights for future possibilities. These downloads will likely clue you into the role that you are to play within the development of a more radically diverse and liberated future. So breathe into it. Feel into it. Why is Aquarius often perceived as emotionally detached? So this is interesting because Aquarian energy, it can be emotionally detached, and there's a reason for that. And it's not to confuse that Aquarius is heartless or cold. Aquarius actually has a very deep love for humanity. Aquarius energy is extremely sensitive to the world. It's extremely sensitive to energies and subtle reality. So Aquarius is tapping us into the collective group mind, right? This is our collective air sign. It's also our superconscious air sign. So what is often perceived as emotionless or cold is a misunderstanding of the Aquarian gift. Aquarius learns the importance of separating oneself from emotion in order to receive the information that's needed to bring true healing to the world. So one way we can feel into this would be calling to mind our relationship to the internet and social media, both of which Aquarius rules over the internet and social media, all forms of technology, and particularly technology that is using communication. So when scrolling through your Instagram feed, for instance, you might find yourself mindless here. I just learned that this is called doom scrolling. So you might find yourself inundated with endless information. I know for me, when I log into Instagram, it feels like I'm stepping into a room on an energetic level. It feels like I'm stepping into a room of 100 people who are all screaming. And many of them are probably traumatized. Like it's intense. And I really felt that shift, and you might have too. You might have noticed this shift when Saturn entered Aquarius in March of 2020. And so there's been a shift in the way that we're using the internet and social media. We might be feeling obstacles here. So how has this brought up challenges and obstacles for you? This is Saturn. But also, how has it inspired you to be a better version of yourself? I mean, we even see this just in my newsfeed this week. I learned about women in Egypt who are being fined and jailed for inappropriate TikTok videos. And then President Donald Trump announced that he wants to ban TikTok. This is part of Saturn in Aquarius. It's like restrictions, Saturn, to the internet, our social media. So the invitation is, how are you using it responsibly? We're being asked to use the internet as adults right now. So Aquarius moon, it is, reminding us of the pain of humanity, right? I'm scrolling through my Instagram feed and I'm seeing that women in Egypt are being fined and jailed for inappropriate TikTok videos. But I'm also I learned this week about gender-based violence toward Turkish and Iranian women. I also learned about peaceful protesters in the Black Lives Matter movement being abducted in unmarked vehicles. I mean, this is the thing, is we're being so inundated right now with information about humanity, okay? And the Aquarius moon is reminding us to feel the pain, to feel the emotion, moon of humanity. And Aquarian in general is being reminded to feel, right? To not just detach in the mind, but also to feel. So I think it's important for us to remember that Leo rules over the heart. Are we connecting with our heart? Or are we doom scrolling? Are we mindlessly scrolling? So when you engage with social media and the internet, you engage with the Aquarian archetype. So whenever you use your smartphone, you are Aquarius in this moment. So learning about the Aquarian archetype will help you better navigate your internet usage. Aquarius loves information. However, the nervous system can become shot if we are taking in too much information. And if we are detaching too much emotionally, we also can become fried. So Aquarius evolves by tuning into the heart. So when you do this, it's not about how much information am I taking in. Take in something, breathe it into the heart. If we don't, this is what spins Aquarius out. Aquarius in a lower form wants to be all things to all people. And this can exhaust itself in the process. This is when Aquarius needs space from humanity or society. And I experience this a lot as an Aquarius. It's like, oh, I just went out into the world. I was around all these people. Now I have to escape. I have to be by myself. This is to recharge with your own unique vibration. Aquarian the contrarian, it is connected to groups of people, but it also needs space from groups of people too. And so I think a great example of this is our Queen of Aquarius, Oprah Winfrey, who is named Queen Aquarius by you in the Cosmic Cousins community. So Oprah is known for utilizing the power of technology, right, to make information available to a wide cross-section of people. And this is all in order to be of service to humanity. And so in order for Oprah to be of service to humanity, Oprah is not able to focus on all humanitarian endeavors. And what's interesting is that she often will receive kickback from people. Oprah, why aren't you speaking out about this? Oprah, why aren't you raising money for this? This is the problem with Aquarian energy, is you can't be all things to all people. Fixed air. I'm setting clear boundaries when it comes to air, ideas, the social interaction, relationship. Aquarius needs to set clear boundaries in relationships. So Oprah reminds us on this Aquarius full moon to take a step back, to observe in order to form a clear strategy, right? Fixed air. To take a step back, to observe in order to form a clear strategy of the ways to best use your own unique skills and gifts at this time. Happy Aquarius full moon. What I thought is really interesting is on the cover of the O magazine, the Oprah magazine, Breonna Taylor has been released as the cover of this. It's the first one ever without Oprah on it. And so this is what Oprah wrote. What I know for sure. The phrase for Aquarius is I know. That's like the traditional phrase is I know. And Oprah always says it. What I know for sure. We can't be silent. We have to use whatever megaphone we have to cry for justice. And that is why Breonna Taylor is on the cover of Oprah magazine. The September issue honors her life and the life of every other Black woman whose life has been taken too soon. So I'm going to pick up a copy of that too. It's also inspiring for me to see, and it inspires me to take a look at my own offerings and how I can utilize them to uplift the collective while also being aligned with the principles of equality and justice and truth. Aquarius is an air sign too. All the air signs are connected to this. So this is what we're all thinking about here on this Aquarius full moon. And I saw that, so I've been running more. I've been trying to get more back in shape since March. I've kind of been, not? Are you there with me? I've just been processing everything going on in the world. And so I've been running. I started running again last week, and Mars is in Aries, right? So I saw a sign that said, dare to imagine a world, right? It starts with dare to imagine a world without police. And it was just a sign that someone had printed off in like big bold letters and just stapled it to a post. But I saw it like 4 times because I'm doing a lap around this park. And every time I passed it, I was like, wow, this is so powerful. Dare to imagine a world without police. So dare, this is Leo, the bold-hearted lion, courage, the hero, daring, right? We're in Leo season. To imagine, this is Aquarius. It's about hope for the future. It is about imagination and creativity, thinking outside the box. So dare to imagine a world without police. I sat with this invitation for a while, and I was amazed at what wanted to come through. And so this is the kind of work that's available to us as we explore the Leo-Aquarius polarity. So I encourage you on this full moon to sit with this phrase, dare to imagine a world. You can fill in the blank with your own vision. I posted this prompt on Instagram, and I compiled the beautiful responses into a collective poem. And so if you'd like, you could check out the newsletter that I sent out, or you could check out the post I put on Instagram. I have it printed there, and you could read it out loud as a ritual spell and prayer. But I'm going to read it here now for you. And I encourage you to breathe into the nervous system while you listen to this collective poem that we created. And also imagine whatever daring to imagine phrase comes up. Try to imagine it, feel into it, but also remember that the collective is listening to this poem too through the power of technology. We're acknowledging this on the podcast, that we are using technology to communicate and to connect, but also that there's many of us tuning in and listening. Aquarius is the nervous system, but it's also the awareness of the grid, right? And so here's our collective poem. Dare to imagine a world. Dare to imagine a world without police. Dare to imagine a world with heart-centered cities. Dare to imagine a world filled with joyous peace and passionate interdependence. Dare to imagine a world society at peace with itself. Dare to imagine a world without banks. Dare to imagine a world with equal distribution of wealth and resources. Dare to imagine a world in wondrous harmony where children never have to experience hunger or neglect. Dare to imagine a world free of societal gender norms and constraints. Dare to imagine a world where masculine of center folks and men can cry and be held. Dare to imagine a world where femmes and women are respected and loved. Dare to imagine a world that cares for you and for me. So happy Aquarius full moon to you. Right now in the sky we have 2 stelliums. So stelliums are when there's 3 or more planets in a given sign. And I think that I just want to bring your awareness to them because I think that they offer us some vocabulary to some of the greater energy we're feeling in the collective. And not just energy that we're feeling, we're also seeing it like very manifest. So right now we have Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn. I'm sure you're aware of this. This is the pandemic stellium, the cluster, everything that we see going on with COVID-19, but also everything that we see being worked out in the government, the patriarchy, the environment, things dealing with universal health care or lack of, and also anything dealing with your career and your public appearance and how it's interconnected with all these themes. So that's where we see that. We've got Jupiter in Capricorn, expansion around these themes. Pluto, deep psychological healing, the underworld and rebirth. So there's an expansion of Pluto at this time as connects to the Capricorn themes of government, environment, collective health. And then Saturn is in Capricorn too, bringing obstacles here and asking us to be responsible and committed. So this is all of that energy there. The reason I'm bringing that up is because that's squaring in the sky all of these planets that we have in Aries. Are you feeling Aries? I know I am. We've got Chiron in Aries, Mars, Black Moon Lilith, and Eris, the warrior feminine, all in this individual sign of Aries, squaring the Capricorn gang over here, the pandemic. So Aries is the individual. This Aries stellium, this is the Black Lives Matter movement, okay? Squaring the government. Chiron, wounds, healing around individuality and birthrights. Mars, taking action for. Black Moon Lilith, the deep, dark, primal rage and grief and hurt of being repressed by a modern patriarchal world. And then Eris, the warrior feminine, sticking up for the birthrights of the feminine and the individual birthrights of the things that have been repressed and shamed. Eris and Black Moon Lilith hanging out with each other, and Mars is coming through, and Chiron, wounds and healing, all of that. So it's this I see reflected in the Black Lives Matter movement, but also we see it with anyone who's exerting their birthrights right now. The government's not taking care of me, right? Pluto and Capricorn squaring Mars and Aries. So I guess I'm going to have to take care of myself, right? Aries squaring Capricorn. Also, we see it reflected in people who are refusing to wear masks, right? Government can't tell me what to do. I'm exerting my birthrights. So all of this square is a theme throughout the rest of 2020. Chiron, Mars, and Eris will all be in Aries for the remainder of the year. So will Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. And Black Moon Lilith will enter Taurus right around Halloween. So there'll be a shift then there. But otherwise, these planets are all squaring each other. And it won't be until December that Jupiter and Saturn will enter Aquarius. And then it won't be until January that Mars will enter Taurus. And so this square is prominent for the remainder of the year. Tension between your individual birthrights, Aries, your pioneering nature, and how it relates to the action that you're taking around your healing and that which has been repressed by our modern patriarchal world. Squaring the transformation, obstacles, and expansion we're seeing in the government and patriarchy. So it's a lot of energy to navigate. Look to your own chart to see how it might be speaking to you individually. If you'd like help in doing that, I do offer deep dive astrology readings. You can check out that information at cosmiccousins.com, or you can check the links in the show notes. I also have an incredible workshop download that's coming out on the Leo new moon in 2 weeks. It is currently open for pre-enrollment, and it is called Mars, Divine Ambition, an intuitive journey of self-realization. So in this workshop download, we're going to talk about this Mars and Aries transit, how to work with it in your own life. We're going to talk about how to evolve Mars through the lower form expression of violence and anger, and evolve it into the higher form of taking action with love. So I posted on Instagram this week inspiring activists and also world leaders Mars placements. So if you want to see what individuals share your Mars placement, you can check out that post. We'll go deeper into that in this workshop download. We'll also explore not only Mars and Aries, which we have in the sky right now, we're going to explore Mars in each of the 12 signs. So if you're curious how this energy manifests, if you're curious to help upgrade the definition and explore and bring healing to the divine masculine, right? Mars is the placement of masculine. This is the workshop download for you. I like to consider it a placement of divine ambition. So we're going to be defining all of these terms and how we can utilize Mars to activate and align us with the principle of self-realization in our own life and use that as a gift toward the world. So Mars workshop download, it comes with a PDF that is detailed and will outline the experience for you. There'll be journal prompts in there. There'll be opportunities for you to connect more deeply to the symbolism of Mars in your life. And so again, you can check out, I have all of this information posted on my website, cosmiccousins.com/Mars. So check that out. And then finally, this full moon, Aquarius full moon, at the 11th degree is squaring Uranus and Taurus at the 10th degree. And Uranus and Taurus is also squaring Sun and Leo at the 11th degree. So Uranus and Taurus is an important placement. This is a transit that we will experience until 2026. And it is about bringing radical technology, innovation, change, Uranus, towards our value systems, nature, the feminine, art, how we express our art. But also Taurus is connected to the financial realms, to wealth, to the economy. So we're going to see changes in economy too. We're already sensing this happening now, but this Aquarius full moon offers us some insights into this. And so today on the show, I'm really excited because I have one of my best friends named Robbie Donaldson, who is going to be on the show with us. And Robbie is very passionate about cryptocurrency and also is really into astrology too. So let's tune into this now. This will close out our show, our time together. And so here's a conversation with Leo Robbie Donaldson. So here with us on the show today, I'm super excited to introduce you to one of my best friends, Robbie Donaldson. Welcome to the show, Robbie.
Thank you for having me.
So this has been a long time coming because Robbie and I use astrology as a vocabulary to communicate a lot. And one of the reasons why Robbie's on the show today is because Robbie is a Leo sun. Happy Leo season to you.
Thank you.
So Leo sun, Scorpio moon, Cancer rising. So that makes Robbie a passionate lion, Leo sun, in the shadowy darkness of night, Scorpio moon, finding your way back home, Cancer rising. Does that resonate with you, Robbie?
Yes, over the years, I have much more come in touch with those aspects.
Yeah, I think once we learned that you were Scorpio moon, things kind of like clicked into place a little bit. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so that's one reason. Robbie's a Leo, I'm an Aquarius, and so under the light of the Aquarius full moon, we have the opportunity to explore this polarity. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And we're also going to talk today about cryptocurrency, specifically as it relates to Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus, the planet of revolution, technology, is in the sign of Taurus, which rules over finance. And Robbie has a lot of experience working with cryptocurrency. So we're just going to touch base and talk to Robbie a little bit about what it is, because it seems to be becoming more and more a part of like a household name or term, cryptocurrency, and specifically Bitcoin. So before we start talking about cryptocurrency, though, I want to kind of just like warm us up a little bit and do a little speed round of questions. And these are all going to be related to your own experience of being a Leo. Okay? And so this is what we like to call on the show cosmic slip and slide. So I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. And I'm going to ask you as many questions as we can get through in 60 seconds. And then we'll reflect. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Where do I find the stopwatch on here? What's funny is that even though Aquarius is connected to technology, Robbie is normally teaching me things about technology, which I think is, I don't know. Do you think Leo's connected to technology too because it's on the spectrum with Aquarius?
I guess so. I guess I would evolve through technology, so to speak.
I just always feel like you know what you're doing on the internet. So where's the stopwatch? Oh, here. Is that it?
Yeah, that's the alarm clock.
And we're going to start now. From your experience, which astrology sign is Leo most attracted to?
I love Taurus.
What famous Leo do you most connect with?
Stanley Kubrick.
If Leo were a genre of music,
I would say Leo would be Sunshine Pop.
How has Aquarius taught you as a Leo to grow?
That everything's not about me.
As a Leo, what do you find most challenging about Aquarian energy?
The feistiness of it.
That might just be me. As a Leo, I feel like Leo's feisty too. As a Leo, what do you love about Aquarius?
They are always just down for companionship.
What skateboard trick most connects you to Leo?
I didn't expect this question. I would say a kickflip? 360 flip, sorry.
Ding, ding, ding. 60 seconds. So we're going to rehash some of these. What famous Leo do you most connect with? You said
Stanley Kubrick.
why?
I like the way that he kind of brings light. I guess he has a Scorpio moon, which is the same combo as me. But he puts into light a lot of kind of esoteric concepts, but in a very mainstream fashion, which I guess could be Leo.
Okay, cool. Nice. What did you say you love about Aquarius? Companionship?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because you said the thing you find most challenging about Aquarian energy is feistiness. And as a Leo, what do you love most about Aquarius? You say companionship. And both of those things I would also attribute to Leo is feisty and companionships. Although you're not very feisty, and I guess not all Leos are feisty, but
I would almost say that, like, from my experience, the Leos are very low key than I think people make them out to be.
And so you're saying Aquarius isn't?
I think there's two types of Aquarius. I know some Aquariuses that are super cool and calm and collected, but then there's other ones that are like have like a fuse. Yeah. And it's like a spectrum, I think.
Maybe we're talking about Saturnian ruled Aquarius versus Uranian ruled Aquarius.
Yes.
And then first you said a kickflip, and then you said no, a 360 something.
Sorry, I didn't expect that one, but 360 flip, I said just because it's sort of the most show-off-y type skateboarding trick I think you can do.
Nice.
So I just thought that,
So Robbie is an incredible skateboarder, also surfs, snowboards, is very active. Fire, right? Leo, fixed fire, and is always up for an adventure. Also, though, you have this interest in cryptocurrency, too. I would even go as far to say that it's a passion of yours, passion is a word we would use for Leo. You have your Leo sun in the second house, which we know, and for those of you listening, just as a reminder, the second house does rule over finance. So have you connected your Leo sun in the second house to your passion for cryptocurrency?
Yeah, it's something I'm always thinking about. I really like the idea of security, which I guess is a second house theme. And to me, something like cryptocurrency just offers a level of security that's unmatched. So,
what do you mean by that? So what is cryptocurrency for those listening who might not know?
So in a nutshell, it's basically a decentralized payment network that is trustless and peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer.
Yes.
So meaning peer-to-peer means it's not connected to banks and the government.
Yes, you can send money to anyone you wish, anywhere in the world, without a bank, without a government, and almost instantaneously, depending on which currency.
Okay, so this is interesting because peer-to-peer to me feels it's social, and it's also progressive, which is very Uranian. Uranus is socially progressive perception. Uranus. And so Uranus entered Taurus. Okay. So Uranus is in Taurus from May 2018 until April of 2026. I haven't necessarily heard a lot of other astrologers talking about this placement as cryptocurrency, but it just feels so obvious to me because Uranus rules over technology and Taurus rules over finance. And as you are also saying, security too is a Taurian theme, as well as the second houses. So I would imagine right now today, Uranus is in Taurus at the 10th degree, okay? And I guess the reason why we're bringing this up on the Aquarius Full Moon podcast is because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So we also look to Uranus and Taurus to understand some insights that we might be receiving at this time. But also Uranus and Taurus is squaring the full moon in Aquarius, which means it's also squaring the Leo sun. So we're here at this crossroads. And so whatever is happening in this like 3 or 4 day portal, of the Aquarius full moon is offering us a window into the future, Aquarius, of what may be coming in regards to the revolution, Uranus, that we're going to see with our economy, Taurus, our finance, and even nature, we could say. It's all like tied together. So I'm curious, is there anything happening like in this few day window that feels prominent? So when it's the full moon, it's like it just offers little like clues. It's not like the manifestation of it, but it will give us like a glimmer into things to expect for the future. So what's going on today with cryptocurrency, specifically like these few days?
So adoption is basically always kind of on the rise. I would say that in the last week to few days, the adoption and the prices of a lot of these currencies are reaching huge highs that haven't been reached since 2017. So that's definitely notable.
What does adoption mean?
Adoption is just the more people that are using it.
Okay.
The institutions that are maybe using the technology for their business, or even just individuals using it to transact.
Okay. So lower form Uranus, it feels like rebellious to the point it wants to burn things to the ground. Do you feel any of the lower form expression of Uranus being expressed in the cryptocurrency world?
I feel like there's definitely a threat to the banking institutions. And I think actually for your previous question, there was just legislation released that would allow banks to hold cryptocurrency, more or less. I'm kind of paraphrasing that. So that is kind of a big deal. And I think that there is a fear that those old institutions are going to die.
Which we also see making an aspect to like Pluto in Capricorn, right?
Definitely.
So Pluto, transformation to the government and patriarchal constructs like banks, we could even say. And so these both earth signs are eventually going to make a trine. And so a trine is when two planets make a harmonious connection in the same element here. And I just looked, actually, Pluto and Uranus will not be forming a trine in the element of Earth. It'll actually be in September of 2025. Uranus at the first degree of Gemini will trine Pluto at the first degree of Aquarius. And so that actually sounds a little bit more like time travel or space travel to me. But anyway, so I guess the higher form of Uranus is like Uranus really wants to be a humanitarian. So we transform from the anarchist that's burning things to the ground to the humanitarian that wants equality for all and uses the principles of technology and progression to do that. Do you see that reflected in the cryptocurrency world?
Definitely. I think that we are in a bit of the early adoption stage right now. So I think still at the moment, it's a lot of maybe tech enthusiasts and kind of people that are more computer savvy that are into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But there are institutions, applications that are making it more accessible. And I do think that there's lots of countries that have corrupt banks that run their country, corrupt politicians, and they're looking for an exit out of these systems. And I do believe that cryptocurrency could be a way for people to take back their power of their financial freedom and take the power out of corrupt banking cartels and so on. So that could be happening in the near future, but it's hard to say for sure.
But we're not quite there yet, because if you just have cryptocurrency, you can't necessarily like live off of it, or can you?
There are some businesses that accept it. Yeah, the use for it is still as having trouble integrating into society. Right now, they're more of a store of value than they are to use in everyday life. But the everyday use is coming for sure. The technology is progressing so fast. I wouldn't be surprised if it was here in just a year or two.
Okay. So under the light of this Aquarius full moon, squaring Uranus and Taurus and squaring Leo sun, one of the things that I am reflecting on a phrase is dare to imagine a world, and then you fill in the blank. So dare is Leo. Dare to imagine. Imagine is Aquarius. A world where I would love to hear you fill in the blank about how you're daring to imagine a world as it relates to the future of crypto.
I dare to imagine a world where everyone is their own bank.
Hell yes. Thank you so much, Robbie, for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Happy Aquarius full moon to you. Is there anything that this Aquarius full moon is bringing up for you that you'd like to share with us? Like, do you have any intentions that you're setting? I mean, you've got this Aquarius North Node across from your sun, so that could be a cool way for us to end our time together.
I don't know if this is really related, but I'm definitely doing like a fast from caffeine, alcohol, things like that. Trying to stay extra clear for the channels just this month, and I mean, it could go longer, but
Yeah.
that's something I'm doing. Maybe, and definitely in light of the full moon, I try to stay aligned.
Yeah, so I think that's cool because moon energy is about self-care, how we take care of our body, our emotional health, our well-being, all of that. And Aquarius is very sensitive to energies that are around, subtle energies. And one of the things we can do during Aquarius full moon is really work with the nervous system. So not drinking caffeine or alcohol is good for that. And also, I mean, a fast from the internet is another thing that would be good for Aquarius moon too.
I almost wanted to say that. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, different than Aquarius sun, who's activated by the Aquarian energy of the internet, but also could still aggravate the nervous system. Aquarius, if you have natal Aquarius moon, you're actually in deep self-care around Aquarian themes. So like Reiki or acupuncture or crystal healing or anything that's great for the energy body is great for the Aquarian moon. And really all Aquarians, but particularly you, Aquarius moon. And we all get a chance to feel into that here on this Aquarius full moon. And actually, to close us out, Robbie, on top of being really athletic and really into cryptocurrency, you're also a musician.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you would like to share a song with us that you think would be the most appropriate for Aquarius full moon.
Yes, it would be a pleasure.
Here's an original piece of music called Take It From Me by Robbie Donaldson.
Listen up, all you people, listen up for love. Ain't no time to be weary, come and get some love. Take it from me, take it for free. In your days, you have seen it pushed and pulled around. In your eyes, fleeting quickly, listen to my sound. Take it from me, take it for free. Take it from me.
Thank you, as always, Cosmic Cousins, for tuning into the show. To close out our time today, I'd like to talk to you about the esoteric phrase for Aquarius. So each astrological sign has an esoteric phrase as channeled by the late esoteric astrologer Alice Bailey, who was born in 1880 and passed away in 1949. So I was introduced to Alice Bailey's work by one of my favorite teachers and astrologers. You probably know her, Heidi Rose Robbins. And so I've meditated on these phrases, and they've brought a lot of healing to my life. And if you've done a reading with me, you've probably heard me mention these phrases. The traditional esoteric phrase for Aquarius is, "Waters of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men." So this phrase for me, I sat with it, and the Aquarian archetype is always insisting that we progress and move forward. And so in my own practice, I have slightly tweaked this phrase to reflect the evolution of who we are to become. So the word thirsty didn't feel right to me. And so by dropping the word thirsty from the phrase, it's my hopes that we're releasing ourselves from the orphan archetype. The orphan archetype is the need to look outward to seek validation or answers from another. So as an astrologer, I'm engaging with the Aquarian archetype, and when someone shows up for a reading, I don't want them to be thirsty. I want them to come to seek to better themselves, not to seek validation or answers from another person, right? So dropping the word thirsty. We're also, right, the phrase goes, "Waters of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men." I'd also like to drop the word men, to release ourselves from the binds of a patriarchal, misogynistic world. It feels like an outdated term for us. And so, let's upgrade this esoteric phrase together. So let's replace the phrase thirsty men with all of my friends. So, the phrase, the upgraded esoteric Aquarian phrase, "Water of life am I, poured forth for all my friends." It is my hopes that this phrase, "all my friends," captures the essence of and realigns us with the Aquarian mission to bring about radical joy and interconnectedness. So if this upgrade doesn't speak to you, you can leave it, but if it does resonate, I encourage you to use it, meditate with it, and share it widely. Happy Aquarius full moon to you all. If you'd like, you could leave some comments and some love. You could rate 5 stars. You could share with your friends and family. You could sign up to be a Patreon for the show. And don't forget, I have a new workshop download on Mars, Divine Ambition, an intuitive journey of self-realization that's open for pre-enrollment. You can check out the links in the show notes. And I'll see you next time. Take sweet care, cousins. And remember, deep breaths.